had an interesting question in the chat box before we get into some of the other topics I had. This is kind of a fun one here from Jesse Hyde. With Trump being found guilty, oh, my voice is off today. Sorry. With Trump being found guilty, does that mean it affects his relationship with WWE because he wasn't mentioned in WWE TV since he was president, and now Vince's lawsuit is in trouble with the DOJ? Yeah, what a tangled web we weave, kids. But WWE has always tried to kind of stay out of politics. They've kept things very general, you know, patriotic themes and so on, tribute to the troops. But they really did try to not get involved um, with Trump in terms of when he was running for president and so on. So they kind of left that off to the side. Obviously, Vince, a Republican and had a very good relationship with Donald Trump even before all the McMahons started getting into politics and Trump started getting into politics. So I don't know what they're going to do in terms of mentioning Trump on WWE TV, but given the fact that, number one, if you saw what happened last night when Trump was at the UFC event and got a rather rousing ovation, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with it. He seems to have actually have his popularity raised a little bit, considering if you look at what happened over there. Very loud ovation for the former president. And that situation with Vince's lawsuit, the Department of Justice did ask to have that lawsuit put on hold because they are doing some more investigations on Vince McMahon. So that lawsuit, and let me just pull the story here real quick because I was actually going to get to that a little bit later, but since you guys brought it up, that's what we do here. We respond to our fans. Janel Grant's has paused her lawsuit against Vince McMahon, WWE, and John Laurinaitis because the DOJ did request that they want to continue with their own investigation, so they kind of want to hold that thing up. Yeah, that good old Southern District of New York. I am so tired of dealing with the Southern District of New York. Man, I'll tell you. For those that don't know, I used to do a poker radio show where we would talk about poker and then have a ton of different poker personalities on. And they were sticking their nose into poker too, and online poker and stuff, with the whole Black Friday thing that happened way back when they knocked all the poker sites offline. I'm really sick of those guys. They tend to do some pretty shisty and shady things in that group. But we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, so they are apparently want to dig in Janel Grant's attorney Ann Callis issued following statement saying Ms. Grant has consented to a request by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York to stay her case against Mr. McMahon, WWE, and Mr. Laurinaitis pursuant to a pending non-public investigation. We will cooperate with all appropriate next steps. So apparently DOJ has some more digging they want to do, and they've asked everybody, hey, take a break with yours. We'd like to do our thing. All right. So I don't know. That's interesting for Ms. Grant. But boy, there's some interesting stuff going on too. Vince is firing back on that. I don't know. That whole thing is a mess. That is a mess. Because that's going to be as bad as that lawsuit sounded. There's got to remember there's another side of that story too. I mean, it sounds terrible, and certainly Vince should have never been doing what he's doing. But we'll see. We'll see where the truth falls. But yeah. But as for President Trump and WWE, who knows? But I think WWE, quite frankly, would be very smart to just stay out of that for right now. Now, Dana White doesn't care. And UFC fans are, certainly a group where they are not very politically neutral, and they're cool with it. But WWE has typically been a kind of group where it's like just never play politics, and that's a good call. And I'm sure, and trust me, you would imagine that Vince would have loved to have played politics. Vince and Linda, I'm sure not Joe Biden fans or Barack Obama fans, but they stayed out of it. So I could imagine that WWE is going to do the same thing. So there you go. So there you go, Jesse Hyde. Good question.